Hiya, here we have my wife's Rascal Pioneer after 12 hours of charging. Let's get a close-up of the display. Goes up to full charge, no warning lights. Hoping to diagnose the problem with lack of range. So, fully charged overnight for 12 hours, about to do a battery drop test. Well, after not being able to get a reading from the charging port, I've done a short strip down and checked at the connector. And at the connector, we are getting 26.1 volts. I'll have to have a look at the connector, but next I'll be trying it under load. Okay, sorted out the charging port. It must have charged okay because the battery is at 26 volts. Let's try it under load. Quick pace. Holding 24.6. To replicate this, I think I might need to run it for about half an hour or so. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, what seems to be quite interesting is that there's quite the judder. You hear that shake and feel that? Hopefully the recording is getting the sound as well, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Barely 5 minutes in. The battery display is in amber. And the amps are at 23.2. Really noticeably shuddering now. I noticed when I let the lever off, it stops really quickly. And the amps recover. But at this point now, it's taking quite the drop. I'm going to keep going, see what happens. Can you hear that labouring? Battery recovers quite quickly into the green. Set off. And it's now nearly red with the amp volts at 22.3. And this is hardly 10 minutes use. Let's see what occurs a bit further down the line. Okay, when we stop, the indicator goes back up to green, but it quickly drops under load. In rest mode, it's at 24.9. This is after a quarter of an hour. Now if I pull away, it drops quickly back into the red. We're at 19.6 volts. You can really hear it labouring now. I don't know if you can see the keys, but that's the sort of wobble we're getting. Actually not too bad at the moment. I'll see if I can capture the wobble at its worst. Seems to be going downhill, the wobble's at its worst. That might be something to do with steering. Check back later. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes in. We're on full power. We're not in limp mode or anything. Battery's down to next to nothing. Voltmeter at 18.5, and yeah, it's struggling now after 15-20 minutes use. See if I can get the speed up a little bit, then you'll be able to hear the chattering jumping that it seems to be making. Everything I've seen diagnostically tells me that this might be a electric brake problem. What I find interesting is that when I stop, it's not doing it now, but the battery rises quite a fair bit, and the volts go back up to 21.4. So from 21.4 to 18, 17, and it just keeps getting lower and lower. Not clever. Perhaps I could ask you what you think. Full power, 15-20 minutes use. Okay, just back from our ride. Quick strip down, barely 5 minutes later. The motor is hot. The brake is very hot. The brake is hotter than the motor, and the gearbox is barely warm. So the hottest part is the brake. The next hottest part is the motor. And yeah, possibly a brake, I feel. So the next job, I think, is to get it on the axles. See if I can find a mechanical reason for the juddering. But like I say, I think it's the magnetic brake. Interestingly, back in after a 10-minute break, and the battery goes back into the green, although not full.